49-degree day here in the capital of Indiana. Before we kick it off, let's go to the third member of our broadcast team, down to the sidelines, and Jenny Dell.
Lion, you mentioned it earlier, A.J. Green still dealing with that right big toe injury, something he's been dealing with all season long, but re-aggravated it last Wednesday at practice. Was in so much pain he had to get carted off the field. And I was able to talk to him before the game, and he told me you really don't realize how much you use your toe until it's injured. He was able to run out there for the first time since the injury, said he's in a little bit of pain, but moving forward, he's hoping that he's back either next week or the week after that. Guys?
And Jenny saw a specialist this week, and yep, the time frame is up to him. When he feels comfortable is when he'll return to the lineup for Cincinnati. Bengals will kick it off to open things up here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Andrew Luck has led the Colts on a 4-game winning streak. They're atop the AFC South. A 5-game winning streak for Indy would be its longest since 2009, back to the Peyton Manning days. Mike Nugent, who missed the 36-yard field goal attempt in overtime, will kick things off for Cincinnati. A 37-37 tie against Carolina. That was the highest scoring tie since the NFL added overtime in '74. We're underway from Indianapolis. The Bengals and the Colts. Griff Whalen, the return man for Indy. Whalen brought down at the 20-yard line. That's where the Colts will open up. Nico Johnson on special teams. Andrew Luck, #1 in the NFL in passing yards and touchdowns, leading this Indianapolis offense.
He told us yesterday that he's confident in his game plan, taking advantage of some of the matchups he'll have on the outside, but he's wary of the various looks the Bengals will give him. He said it's been a stressful week of preparation, but he likes the weapons at his disposal line.
Pep Hamilton has been pushing all the right buttons. The 40-year-old offensive coordinator for the Colts. Colts open up 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Play fake on first down. Luck hit as he throws. Carlos Dunlap putting the pressure. It's incomplete. Starting offense for Indianapolis. They have a couple of their offensive linemen returning. Uhort and Thornton. Uhort missed back-to-back games with an ankle injury. Backs and receivers. Reggie Wayne enters action 20 yards away from passing James Lofton for 8th on the all-time receiving yardage list. Pep Hamilton, in his second year as the offensive coordinator, worked with Luck at Stanford. Motion man is Allen, 2 tight end formation. T.Y. Hilton, who had a first quarter to remember on Thursday night when they beat Houston 33-28. A loss of 1 on the play. Defensively for Cincinnati, Geno Atkins starting to look like himself again, returning from ACL surgery, although he doesn't have a sack yet. Vincent Ray stepped in for Ray Malaruga at times last year and did a good job. In the secondary, Leon Hall, one of the top covered corners in the NFL, he'll move inside on nickel situations, so that could mean a lot of matchups with T.Y. Hilton. 3rd and 11 now for the Colts. Luck on a soft toss right through the hands of Dwayne Allen. And the Colts go 3 and out to open things up.
Really a bad opening series for the Colts and a great start for Paul Guenther and the Bengal defense. They got the pressure from Dunlap on the first play. Terrence Newman quickly reacted on the quick screen, and now Dwayne Allen drops a ball, but he would have been way short of the first down if he had caught it.
Pat McAfee, the AFC Special Teams Player of the Week, punting to Adam Jones, standing at his own 30-yard line for Cincinnati. Oh, snap, handled by McAfee. Comes in averaging 47.5 yards per kick. Jones moves forward, returnable from the 34. Jones banged out of bounds, just short of the 40-yard line. Good field position for Cincinnati to open up. 47-yard punt and a 4-yard return. Andy Dalton, 2-0 in his career against Indianapolis last week in that tie against Carolina. A couple of touchdowns and a couple of picks.
And he's working with a new offensive coordinator, Hugh Jackson. He loves the versatility of Jackson's scheme. Key today will be how the Bengals can take advantage of the Colts' tendency to play so much man-to-man pass defense.
Jackson, the former head coach of the Oakland Raiders back in 2011. Dane Sanzenbacher is in, 3 receiver set. Dalton plenty of time. Little flip and a toss to Gresham, and he's buried right away. DeQuell, Jackson, and Corey Redding all over it. A loss of 5 on the play. Starting offense for Cincinnati, Kevin Zeitler returns. Zeitler hasn't played since September 14th against Atlanta. He'd been out with a calf injury. Gresham expect for Cincinnati to get him involved early, coming off a good showing last week against Carolina. Bootleg. Dalton. Gets it out to Cedric Kierman, third string running back. And his first catch of the season, it's a 5-yard grab. Over there, Eric Walden to make the play for Indianapolis. So now 3rd and 10 for Cincinnati. And Greg Minuski in his 3rd year as defensive coordinator of the Colts. Indy's defense has been #1 in the NFL on 3rd down. Shotgun for Dalton. Rush coming. Dalton throws it away. Bjorn Werner among those busting through for Indianapolis, and the Bengals go 3 and out.
Yeah, it looked like a jailbreak blitz there that time for the Colts as they brought pressure right up the gut. You can see Walden coming, Werner coming as well. It's going to be a screen pass to Bernard, but a good job by Jarrell Freeman in picking up Bernard out of the backfield. Dalton had nothing to do but throw it in the dirt or the plastic grass.
Either one, I think, is appropriate.
There's no dirt here. Very clean.
Kevin Huber will punt it with Whalen waiting for it. Nearly at a clock. Good penetration there. Goes over the head of Whalen. Bounces around. Cincinnati trying to down it, but they could not. Back to the 20-yard line for Indianapolis. Drake Kirkpatrick was the first one down there. 63-yard punt, but a net of 43. Colts will have it at the 20.
Let's check out just how close the Bengals had to pinning the Colts real deep. The left toe of Darquez Denard just crossing the line there. Good call by the officials who had their eye on it.
Well, at least one eye, because Gene Steratore had some issues with the contact lens. Vision is important, as we know, in the officiating game. And having a small mirror handy also pivotal.
Well, these trainers, they've got it all, don't they, in their little bag of tricks? That's why I don't wear contacts on.
Right there. We just found out.
I hate little mirrors.
That's it. You have a fear of small mirrors. I believe there is therapy you could have for that.
I can't wait.
So 1st down for the Colts at the 20-yard line. This high-powered offense, #1 in the NFL, 444 yards, #1 in scoring, 31.5 points per game. 3 tight ends in this formation, Allen, Fleener, and Doyle. A jump. Jason DeMonch trying to get the advantage. 2nd year out of Southern Illinois, getting the start for the injured Lemur.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 51. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
So here are the numbers for Indianapolis. Points, passing yards, total yards, and time of possession. Colts at 4-2. They outscored their opponents 58-6 in the first quarter of this season. Give it to Trent Richardson, runs into a wall. Richardson brought down as he crossed the 25-yard line by Vincent Ray, a gain of a yard.
And D'Amato Pecco as well on the tackle there as the Colts decided to run to the weak side. They had the extra tight ends to the right side of the formation, but the Bengals were not fooled there. It's important that Vincent Ray has a big game for the Bengals today. He's played well the times he's been in there, but he'll be in there the entire game today.
Ray Malaluga out with a hamstring injury. Could miss a few weeks for Cincinnati. 2nd and 4 now. Hakeem Nixon, 3rd receiver. Luck. Clean pass. Connects with Dwayne Allen for a 1st down. That's a 9-yard pickup. Reggie Nelson back there defensively for Cincinnati.
Allen's rare at 270 pounds. Great blocker at the line of scrimmage, but watch how he reaches out with his hands here in front of Nelson to make that catch and then secure it as he hits the ground.
Allen has 3 touchdowns in his last 4 games. They missed him last year. Injury reserve, hip injury suffered in the season opener. Adam Jones in. 5 defensive backs here for Cincinnati on a 1st and 10 for the Colts. Inside handoff, Richardson. Keeps the legs churning, and Richardson Gets across the 40-yard line. Domata Peko getting him down low, a gain of 6.
Yeah, a big thing for Richardson is to just play freely. Last year he came in and he was thinking too much about his assignments. You can see the change this year. The combination with him and Bradshaw has been very effective.
Had a rushing touchdown in that win over Houston on Thursday night. T.Y. Hilton, huge numbers against the Texans. 9 catches, 223 yards, a touchdown. In the first quarter alone, he had 147 yards.
And he quickly saw that it was his zone defense hooked up. And how quick did Luck get that ball out of his hand? The Bengals had no chance on that one.
He was 1 yard shy of matching the Colts record. Raymond Berry, November of 1957. Luck on a toss for Allen. Allen with blockers. Into Cincinnati territory, banged down after the 13-yard catch and run. Thornton and Sherrillis with key blocks.
And watch Harrison from the center position get out as well on this screen. Good versatility, good speed out here. That's an outstanding screen pass with blockers in front for Allen.
And a new set of downs for the Colts to work with. They come up on 10 minutes to play in this first quarter. Take the handoff. Luck steps up. Luck will throw it away. Skies it over the head of veteran Reggie Wayne. Let's get an NFL Today update. JB and Tony Gonzalez.
Joe Flacco loved the first half. Yeah, and he's doing really well. You're going to see him hit Owen Daniels here for 5 yards and the touchdown. Flacco picking up where he left off last week. He's on fire right now.
Early in the first quarter. Back to Ian Eagle, Dan Faust, and Jenny Hill. Jenny Dell, that is. Sorry about that.
No offense. Jenny forgives you. And JB, that Baltimore offense is clicking with Flacco and Kubiak. 7th play of the drive, 2nd and 10 here for Indianapolis. Luck, too high for T.Y. Hilton, listed at 5'9", 178 pounds. Adam Jones back there defensively for Cincinnati. It's 3rd and 10 for the Colts.
And still got in there quickly on Luck, maybe force that ball to sail high. That's what the Bengals need today, is pressure from their front four. Watch number 75 here with that left hand up in the air. Just enough to disrupt that pass and make it go out of bounds. But Dunlap had good pressure earlier on the first play of the game on Luck.
2 rushing plays, 8 passes so far for Indianapolis. 3rd and 10 for the Colts in Cincinnati territory. Working out of the gun, a deep drop for Luck. Hooks a pass over the middle. Oh! Big hit. Reggie Wayne takes a shot from Adam Jones. It's incomplete.
Now the Bengal defense, secondary is playing awfully well early in this game. Adam Jones going to come from the other side of the field. Leon Hall had good coverage underneath. But this is a good, clean hit with a shoulder to the rib cage of Reggie Wayne.
Pat McAfee back on for his 2nd punt. Brandon Tate, the former New England Patriot, waiting for it inside the Cincinnati 10. McAfee trying to place this one deep and pin the Bengals back. Fair catch called for just across the 10-yard line by Tate. A 30-yard punt. Andy Dalton leading the 3-1-1 Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals offense back on the field when we come back to Indianapolis, the NFL on CBS. Thursday, football starts here. An AFC West showdown. The Chargers face the Broncos. Thursday night football on CBS and the NFL Network. Should be a fun one. Those two teams had some battles through the years. Cincinnati and Indianapolis today here in Indy. 9:48 to go in the opening quarter. Bengals get it at the 12-yard line. Ryan Hewitt sets up in an H-back spot with Bernard. Giovanni Bernard cutting to the outside. Bernard a dart towards the perimeter. DeQuell Jackson couldn't bring him down initially. It's a 6-yard gain for Bernard.
Yeah, really good initial start for Bernard. Bengals said they thought that they could run wide against the Colts today. A little stiff arm right there with that right hand jab gets Bernard to the outside.
Last year in a win over Indianapolis, Bernard had nearly 100 yards on the ground. This time wrestled down by Eric Walden. A gain of 1 on the play. Bernard, 12 carries, 99 yards rushing, 4 catches for 49 yards in last year's meeting.
But it was the chances to score that he didn't quite take advantage of, and that has stuck with him. He says when you get in that open field, you have to score. That's his mentality. He went for a long one, 89 yards last week against Carolina.
That meeting was December 8th of last year, a 42-28 win for Cincinnati. Dalton had 3 touchdowns in the victory. Josh Gordian as the nickel back for Indianapolis, a 3rd and 3 for the Bengals. Dalton drop off, trying to get it to Gresham. Jarrell Freeman, a former CFL standout there defensively for Indianapolis.
Well, you can't play much better from a linebacker spot. Watch his right hand come in and just rake across the arms of Gresham. Super play by Freeman.
2 straight 3-and-outs for the Cincinnati offense, and now Kevin Huber will punt it to Griff Whalen. Whalen averaging just under 7 yards per return. Kick sails to Whalen from the 30. He's got some room. Spun down short of the 40-yard line. Indianapolis will have good field position as Flowers makes the play on special teams after the 51-yard punt. No score, 8:31 to go in the first. Wednesday on CBS, Dylan McDermott and Maggie Q star in the new hit thriller Stalker. Wednesday at 10, 9 Central, only CBS. Indianapolis comes in number 1 offense in the NFL. Cincinnati is number 5 in the NFL. Yet here we are scoreless, 8:31 to go in the first quarter. Colts get the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line. Ahmad Bradshaw, 2-time Super Bowl champion of the Giants, now in for Indy. From the gun, Luck. Underneath, Reggie Wayne turns it upfield, and Wayne right at the marker. Brought down by the linebacker Vincent Ray, and Wayne hurt on the play.
He may have hurt his left shoulder, but it's a shallow crossing route. It's always important to get Reggie Wayne going early in a ball game. He's such an emotional leader, and like it might even be his elbow here as he takes the jab with the straight arm there, then down to the ground, and he's on the sideline.
9-yard pickup, 2nd and 1. Bradshaw looking for the first down. He's got it. Bradshaw, the acceleration, knocked out of bounds in Cincinnati territory. Costanzo creating some space as he pushed DeMonch out of the way.
Well, it's the speed of Bradshaw, Costanzo out in front, and Muhort, and then the acceleration around the corner, and one man to beat. Knocked out of bounds, but 11-yard gain, perfect start for Ahmad Bradshaw.
Yeah, we asked Andrew Luck about Bradshaw. He said he's a stud, a warrior, a classy teammate, and he said he's been so helpful with Trent Richardson in pass protection, and how to be a pro, how to prepare. Universal praise from the Colts in regards to Bradshaw. Swing it out to T.Y. Hilton. Good cut by Hilton for extra yards, 6-yard pickup. Terrence Newman, the veteran, over there for Cincinnati.
Yeah, it didn't seem like much, but that little move to the outside and back inside was enough to get those extra yards as they check out Wayne on the sideline.
So a 2nd and 4 now for Indianapolis. Clock is moving. Under 7 minutes to go in the first. Take the handoff. Luck hooks a pass. Makes the connection to Hilton. Another Indianapolis first down. They've been calling Hilton Ghost because he's so tough to find. 22 yards.
And the play action is enough to bring the linebacker Ray up, and now watch where Luck goes with the ball right in behind him.
And a quick snap, penalty marker on the play.
False start. Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Jack Muhort, the rookie out of Ohio State. And there is Pep Hamilton. The symmetry between him and Luck in this offense. Variety of weapons. He gets everybody involved.
And especially down here in the red zone where he'll use more tight ends than a lot of teams, although after that penalty, he will go with the wide receivers, 3 wide receivers on this down.
And Ahmad Bradshaw has 5 touchdown receptions from the running back spot. Fleener, the motion man. Most trips to the red zone this season. Bradshaw redirects. Oh,
he fumbles the football.
Carlos Dunlap there to knock it free. It may have bounced back to Bradshaw. Fleener is in there. They're trying to peel off the pile. Officials sorting it out. 6:06 mark.
Bengals got it.
Cincinnati comes away with it.
Now the job that Dunlap does is just perfect because Adam Jones forced Bradshaw back to the middle where Dunlap could get his right hand on the ball and pull it loose.
Ahmad Bradshaw jarred loose by Dunlap. The Bengals have it. Well, the play is under review. All turnovers are reviewed. And Gene Steratore is under the hood checking out. Let's take another look.
Now they're looking to see if Bradshaw's either forearm and elbow are down or his knee down before Dunlap ripped that ball out. Just a really heads-up play by Dunlap to get the leverage on the ball to spin it out.
Our rules expert, Mike Carey, is standing by. He's seeing the same replays that we're seeing. Mike, what's Gene looking for right now?
Well, there are two things he's looking for. One, what hits first, and we see clearly that it's the forearm that hits before any other body part. And does that happen before or after the strip begins? And if you freeze it right when that forearm hits, the ball is not completely visible.
After review,
so
the ruling
there's not
on the
enough to
field
see.
stands. It is ruled a fumble, first down, Cincinnati.
And there you have it. The announcement from Steratore. It is a fumble. Adam Jones on the recovery. Dunlap on the force. Cincinnati's defense makes a big play in the red zone.
You almost imagine that at the bottom of that pile, it looked like Ahmad Bradshaw was the first to the ball, but Adam Jones with enough strength to pull it out by the time the officials got there to determine who recovered.
Reggie Wayne left that series with an apparent arm injury of some sort. We'll get word on that and pass it along. First and 10 from the 11 for the Bengals. Dalton on a short toss to Gresham. Out of bounds and picks up a yard and a half on the play. Let's check in with Jenny Dell.
Well, just an update on Reggie Wayne, who came off the field flexing his left arm and hand after making that 9-yard catch mid-first. Trainers tended to him on the sideline. He's back on the bench right now with his helmet on shortly. He should be back in the game. I talked to PR and they said no problems. He should be out there soon.
So the veteran Reggie Wayne now in his 14th year in the NFL. Play fake. Dalton plenty of time. Through the hands of Sanu. Incomplete. No A.J. Green, so more attention on Mohamed Sanu coming off a career performance in that game against Carolina. Sanu finishing with 10 catches, 120 yards, and a touchdown.
And Greg Toller, man-to-man on that deep crossing route, may have gotten his left hand in there to keep that ball out of Sanu's hand, but the ball just slightly thrown behind Sanu, or he would have had a big game.
3rd and 9 for Cincinnati. They do not have a first down in this opening quarter. Dalton connects with Sanu. Trying to extend the arm, but he's going to be short. Greg Toller made sure of it.
Chuck Pagano down there helping the officials out, telling his team that he was short of the first down and send that punt return team out there. But again, a good job by Toller sticking with Sanu.
Kevin Huber will punt it. Griff Whalen standing at his own 38-yard line for Indianapolis under 5 minutes to play in the first. Good kick from Huber. Whalen backpedals and a fair catch. Right around the 27-yard line. Step aside, no score. The Bengals and the Colts. Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by MetLife, downtown Indianapolis, and Lucas Oil Stadium, one of the best venues in the NFL. Better than 62,000 on hand for the Colts and the Bengals. Reggie Wayne back out there. They checked on that left arm. George Iloka, left knee injury, but he's in there for Cincinnati at the safety spot. 4:49 to go in this first quarter. And off Richardson. Richardson off the veer, a 5-yard pickup for Richardson, hit by Dunlap. Richardson does most of his damage inside, and Bradshaw's a guy that can go inside and outside, so a little bit of a change of pace depending upon who they're going with at running back.
Yeah, Pep Hamilton says that Richardson's like a chisel. He kind of just chips away at the defense. Then they bring in the sledgehammer and Ahmad Bradshaw, and he goes for the bigger runs.
2nd and 5 here for the Colts. Richardson, number 3 pick overall in the 2012 draft. Richardson's got a first down. He got tricked as he crossed the 40-yard line. 10-yard pickup for Richardson. Gosder Sherilis with a block on the outside.
Well, to get out in front, the Colts offensive line doing a good job of really showing their mobility. We've seen them get out in front of screen passes today to Dwayne Allen, and this time getting Richardson to the corner and to a first down.
Losses to Denver and Philadelphia to open the season. Colts were 0-2. They've won 4 straight. Down to 3:35 to play in this first quarter. Richardson remains in there. From the gun, hand it off. Richardson breaks 1 tackle, slicing through to the 45, 3-yard gain for Trent Richardson. Vincent Ray in there for the tackle for Cincinnati.
It looked like Richardson, because of the immediate pressure that time by Gilberry, really he had no chance on that draw play.
2nd and 7 now for the Colts.
Red 70!
Deep drop for Luck. Over the middle, Luck to T.Y. Hilton. He's got a knack. Leon Hall defending him, 14 yards on the hookup.
Well, the key here is how sharply Hilton comes out of his break and doesn't give ground down the field. Runs parallel to the line of scrimmage, and Luck puts it right on him.
Moving quickly here, the Indianapolis offense. Luck, deep ball, one-on-one, and it's out of bounds. Hilton in a matchup with Adam Jones. Pressure from Geno Atkins and a penalty marker on the play.
A really good pressure on Luck that time, and good coverage in the secondary by Jones.
Hands to the face. Defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Domata Peko. You can't read the name because of the hair. You see a P,
And
you
an
see an
O.
O.
Yeah.
So you just have to surmise that it is him.
That's a tough call for these linemen, both offense and defense. It's been a point of emphasis throughout the preseason, now the regular season, trying to keep it's another safety measure. But it just happens so often on both sides of the ball.
So it's a 1st and 10 at the 36 of Cincinnati. Indianapolis is on the move once again. Richardson, single setback. Richardson trying to turn the corner, slowed down, and picks up 6 yards on the play. Let's go to New York NFL Today update. JB and Tony.
Everybody wants in for the Packers.
Yeah, and right here, James Starks is going to get in right here. A little patience right there. 13 yards up the sideline for the touchdown. Check this stat out, guys. Green Bay has 168 yards to -4 for Carolina.
Iron Eagle.
Boy, Packers were shot out of a cannon. Off to the hot start. Luck. In stride, Toby Fleener. Stiff arm for Fleener and extra yardage. Reggie Nelson, the safety, matched up with the tight end. 23 yards for the Stanford connection.
They'll go quickly to the line of scrimmage, but the clear passing lane for Luck, and then Fleener refusing to have Nelson push him out.
Oh, nearly intercepted. Leon Hall. He was by himself. There would have been nobody in his way if he catches and goes the other way.
Yeah, he would have his 3rd interception return for a touchdown. Would have been a long one. Andrew Luck was already on his way to get to the cutoff angle, but I doubt that Luck would have been able to catch him.
Luck had hit 5 straight before that incompletion. 2nd and goal now for Indy. Colts looking to get on the board. Take the handoff. Luck looking. Luck flushed out. Luck hit at the 5. Andrew Luck taking a shot from Vontaze Burfict. Burfict fined $25,000 by the NFL for twisting ankles on tackles last week against Carolina, and Burfict will appeal that fine. And Burfict shaken up on the play, taking on a big body in Luck, who's 6'4", 240.
Well, here's Trent Richardson, and he's going to be open on this play. There's a double fake here. The jet fly sweep there. Look at Richardson at the top of the screen, but Luck forced out of the pocket to the left, and it's not often that a quarterback-linebacker collision hurts the linebacker more than the quarterback.
And Dan, already the Bengals down 2 starting linebackers. Malaluga and Lemur are out. Vontaze Burfict is one of the leaders of this defense. Domata Peko saying that the team really feeds off his energy and his passion. Medical staff is out there to check on Burfict. Marvin Lewis's defense. Yeah, Burfict.
Well, he lowers his head right into the rib cage of Luck, and that's legal because Luck is a running back here, but it's very dangerous for Burfict.
And dangerous for Luck, whose left hand was caught in between the helmet of Burfict and his own chest. So Taylor Mays, who's a bit of a hybrid, can man that spot, especially in this territory. Ninth play of the drive. Colts looking for points. Bradshaw is in there for Indianapolis. 3rd and goal. Operating out of the gun. Luck. Trying to run. He's dragged down by Peko. Cincinnati's defense holds up in the red zone. It'll go down as a sack for Domata Peko.
Well, that's what the Bengals' defensive plan is to have the ends come up the field, Dunlap and Gilberry, but Peko to stay in the middle, cut off this running lane for Luck. Look at the job that Peko does, forcing the center back into the quarterback and then coming off and making a tackle, keeping Luck out of the end zone.
That is 9 sacks now in the season for the Cincinnati D, and a chip shot for Adam Vinatieri, who has not missed this season. 23 yards away. Colts are on the board. Indianapolis with a 3-0 lead over Cincinnati. Andy Dalton back to work when we come back. Access all of today's football action on the go. Download the award-winning CBS Sports app right now for instant scores, breaking news, video, and more, all on your phone. Chuck Pagano's team has outscored their opponents 61-6 in first quarter action this season. And a 3-0 lead for Indianapolis. Pat McAfee will kick it off. Adam Jones, who had a 97-yard kickoff return last week but didn't score, is back there for the Bengals. McAfee, who 3 of 3 on onside kick attempts this season. Here's Jones. Brought down shy of the 20-yard line by Griff Whalen.
Well, Pep Hamilton loves the 3 tight end package. Earlier in the game, he's going to come with a strong side look, and then that gives single coverage to the outside to T.Y. Hilton. Now with 3 tight ends in the game, it looks like a running formation. The play action pass, the fake to Bradshaw, and Hilton between linebackers is open down the field on the play action.
Cincinnati does not have a first down. They have 16 total yards. Indianapolis has 150. Jeremy Hill is in, the rookie out of LSU. Down to 29 seconds to play in the first. Dalton, deep ball. What an effort! James Wright, incomplete. Vontae Davis, stride for stride.
And Davis had position on Wright. And that forced a very small area for this ball to come to Wright. But look at the effort by Wright as he tracks it down, makes the catch, but lands out of bounds and the ball comes out.
2nd and 10 from the 19. Wright is another LSU product for the Bengals.
Well, they've had LSU Tigers, right?
They are. Dalton off the hands of Sanu, and a flag thrown at the 16.
Yeah, legal procedure against the Bengals. They're having a horrible first quarter.
Dalton is 4 of 8 for just 9 yards. Gene Steratore is making sure the officials are on
Illegal
the same
formation.
page.
Offense number 71 was not up on the line of scrimmage. The penalty is declined. Third down.
So they decline it on the incomplete pass, and now 3rd and 10 for Cincinnati.
Yeah, Andre Smith just too deep on his alignment on the line of scrimmage, where she's opposite Eric Walden, who has 3 sacks on the season.
Bengals are trying to avoid their 4th straight 3 and out to open things up. Motion man is Brandon Tate. Bengals playing without A.J. Green, out with a toe injury. Dalton steps up, pressure. Dalton throws to the outside. It's caught by Gresham, but no room to work with. Only 3 yards on a modest gain. Walden and Jean-Francois with a hit on Dalton. And that'll be the final play of this opening quarter. 3-0, the Colts leading the Bengals. We'll return to Indianapolis after these messages. This is the NFL on CBS. Marvin Lewis, Chuck Pagano, a couple of guys who made a name for themselves as Baltimore's defensive coordinator. Lewis, part of the Super Bowl champion team, moved on to Washington, then got the head coaching job with Cincinnati, the 2nd longest tenured head coach in the NFL behind Bill Belichick. Once again, pressure. Hubert gets it off. Whalen, fair catch called for, and it is going to be placed at the 32-yard line. Tonight, there's a new gold rush in the Yukon worth billions of dollars. You won't believe how they're finding it. Plus, can Rome save one of the last wonders of the world? Only on 60 Minutes tonight.
Whalen did a good job of catching that ball, looking directly into the sun with the roof open here. It's rare to have the roof open. Whalen hung with that ball, made the catch.
Neck injury for Vontaze Burfict. His return is questionable, so Marquise Flowers, rookie out of Arizona, is now in there. Vincent Ray, Jason DeMont. Those are your 3 linebackers for Cincinnati. Give it to Ahmad Bradshaw. Had a fumble in the first quarter when the Colts were driving. Picks up 5 yards, hit by Dunlap and Ray, combining for Cincinnati.
Well, and the adjustment that Paul Guenther has done, at least there on first down, was to go with 5 defensive backs. And now DeMonch comes back into the game. In fact, he goes back out of the game. So Adam Jones in as the extra defensive back for Cincinnati.
Paul Guenther in his first year as defensive coordinator, 10th year overall on the coaching staff for Cincinnati, replaced Mike Zimmer, who got the head coaching job in Minnesota. They also lost their offensive coordinator, Jay Gruden, who's the head man in Washington, replaced by Hugh Jackson, who was also on the staff. Here's Luck, plenty of time. Luck airs it out. Hilton's open. T.Y. Hilton with a catch and curl. Out of bounds. They can't locate Hilton.
Yeah, the play-action pass gets Luck deep in the pocket, and then it's just the speed of T.Y. Hilton. Leon Hall actually helped him on that route by pushing him, and now he can't make the tackle. Here's the play-action fake. Watch how clean this pocket is for Luck as he can scan the field and find T.Y. Hilton way down the field.
46-yard pass completion in the red zone once again. First down for Indianapolis. Jack Doyle is in the backfield, the tight end. Give it to Bradshaw. Bradshaw pounding his way through. Brought down inside the 5. It's 1st and goal for the Colts. Vincent Ray was holding on for dear life.
And the 2nd-year linebacker, Jason DeMont, number 51, is going to whiff on this tackle. He goes right through the secondary inside the 5.
Colts are operating at a high pace right now. 1st and goal for Indianapolis.
5-7.
Long count for Luck. Wayne, the motion man. Colts trying to add to their lead. Give it to Bradshaw. Powering through. Bradshaw short of the goal line. Pecco and Still there defensively.
A good penetration by the Bengals. You can see all those orange helmets on the Colts side of the line of scrimmage.
Luck making a change here. Second and goal for Indianapolis.
Well, there's a gap for a quarterback sneak here.
Luck to Bradshaw. Bulldozers in. Touchdown, Colts. Indianapolis builds on the lead. All set up by the big play to T.Y. Hilton.
Well, it's a little counter. Start off to the left, cut back to the right. Good job there by Jack Doyle leading the way, but that was the gap that was open from the very start, just right over the right guard. Bradshaw gets in easily.
His first rushing touchdown of the season to go along with his 5 receiving touchdowns. And Adam Vinatieri on for the point after. Colts go 5 plays, 68 yards. They do it in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And Ahmad Bradshaw, who coughed it up in the first quarter, takes it in here in the early stages of the second. Chuck Pagano has called Ahmad Bradshaw an angry runner, and he was very angry after the fumble in the first quarter, making up for it the touchdown in the second.
Yeah, that was really key, is that very highly motivated to make up for that fumble in the red zone.
That McAfee kicking it off to Adam Jones. Off his hands, and a touchback for Cincinnati.
Well, watch the double team here by Thornton and Sherrillis, and then the lead block by Doyle from the fullback position. It's a counter play on the 1-yard line, just perfectly blocked for Bradshaw.
And Indianapolis, Dan, is the heaviest team in the NFL. They have 15 players that are 300-plus pounds, the most in the league.
That's quite a departure from years past, too, for Indy.
Cincinnati does not have a first down in this first half. Trying to establish the run. Nothing there for Bernard. Brought down to the rookie out of Ball State, Jonathan Newsom. Loss of 1 on the play. Cincinnati opened the season with wins over Baltimore, Atlanta, Tennessee. Then lost to New England, lopsided game, tied Carolina. And those 40 points, the opponent points per game, they've given up 80 points in the last 2 games. Jeff Hobson from Bengals.com had this note. The Bengals had not given up at least 80 points in back-to-back games under Marvin Lewis until the last 2 weeks. Play fake. Dalton. Catch made by Bernard, but DeQuell Jackson sniffs it out. Signed as a free agent from Cleveland, brings high energy to this Colts D.
And how much do the Bengals miss A.J. Green right now? Sanu has 1 catch for 8 yards. Kierman 1 catch for 5 yards. Gresham 3 catches for -1.
Crowd is fired up. A 3rd and 10 here for Cincinnati. Dalton out of the pocket. Throws it away. Too much pressure from the Colts. Eric Walden getting into the face of Andy Dalton. 5th straight 3 and out for Cincinnati.
And Dalton wasn't ready for the snap. He does a great job of reacting to the ball and making the catch. But watch, he's not even looking. Fortunately, he got his left hand on the ball, but there's the pressure from Redding and Walden and the throwaway.
Kevin Huber has been a busy man. The deepest Cincinnati has gotten its own 37-yard line. Looking into the sun, Griff Whalen, fair catch at the 30, a 50-yard punt for Huber. 10-0 lead for the Colts, and they've got the ball back when we return. Injuries mounting for Cincinnati on defense. Vontez Burfict not on the field. Marquise Flowers, the rookie, is in there. Burfict missed a couple of games with a concussion.
Let it roll. Yep.
1st and 10 for the Colts, just short of the 30-yard line. Take the handoff, bootleg. Against the grain, Luck hooks up with Richardson. It's 1-man miss. Richardson still going. He's got a first down. Richardson, great cut. Across the 45 for 20 yards.
Now again, it's a 3 tight end set here, and again, Richardson comes out of the backfield and is all alone. And you know his partner Ahmad Bradshaw loves this one. But that's twice now that Richardson's been wide open. This time Luck found him for a big play.
Line of scrimmage is now the 48 going against 3 backup linebackers right now. First catch of the day for Richardson. 13 first downs for Indianapolis. Luck steps. Sidearm toss is incomplete. He was looking for Akeem Nicks. Pressure coming from the veteran Robert Gathers for Cincinnati.
I think that's the one thing that Marvin Lewis admires so much about Andrew Luck is that he has a short memory. He puts a bad play or a series of bad plays behind him quickly, and that just shows his mental toughness and why he's so good at such a young age.
Pep Hamilton and Andrew Luck, they are producing prodigious numbers. Luck is on pace for 5,300 yards and 45 touchdowns. Play clock is down to 1. Play action, Luck. Wide open, Richardson. Gorgeous fake on Flowers. Richardson's got a first down. 13 yards. The juke move from Trent Richardson.
Yeah, back-to-back receptions for Richardson. There's some laundry that needs to be picked up by Flowers.
Would you say lingerie lingering? Oh no, that's Bill Raftery. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Clark Kellogg's here with us today watching the ball game.
Special K in attendance.
You basketball junkies.
10-0 lead for Indianapolis. 14 first downs for the Colts. We have 9 minutes to go in this first half. Indy on the move once again. Luck is 12 out of 19, 178 yards. Ground game. Richardson emerging out of that pack. Blocks from Allen and Fleener, Doyle, springing Richardson loose for 6.
Dwayne Allen, look how he controls the linebacker on that side. And then Doyle is in there, Costanzo, good mobility. And then finishing off the run by Richardson, taking tacklers down the field.
2nd and 4, Richardson with 38 yards on the ground. Keep it there. Richardson fumbles it. Everything going right for Indy except running backs giving up the football. And Richardson, a phantom fumble. Cincinnati takes over. The Colts had the fewest turnovers last season, just 13. They've got already have 12 here in 2014. Dunlap on the recovery for Cincinnati. Bengals take over. 5-year veteran Carlos Dunlap signed a big contract prior to last season, 6 years, $40 million, and he has been a playmaker for the Cincinnati D. Offensively, though, Bengals have not been able to get out of their own way. 2 turnovers for Indianapolis, keeping Cincinnati very much in this first half, trailing only 10-0. Big hit! Ball is popped free. It's still rolling around, but it was ruled incomplete initially. Incomplete. Giovanni Bernard got stamped on the play. Vontae Davis just leveled him.
Well, real close to being a backwards pass, but a good legal hit. We're seeing how defenses are adjusting to the illegal contact with the head. Here it's a shoulder shot to Bernard right in the midsection. Again, it was real close to being a backwards pass, but a good call by the officials right on the spot.
And Giovanni Bernard is still on one knee. Medical staff is out there checking on Bernard, 5'9", 208 pounds. He told us that the plan was for him to be lined up all over the field. Hugh Jackson trying to use the versatility on this roster.
And last week against Carolina, Bernard hurt his collarbone and a similar type of collision. And right now, I guarantee you, he's feeling a rib injury of some type there. For sure, the wind was knocked out of him. It was a forward pass thrown by Dalton. But heads up by the Colts to get after that ball anyway and take it to the end zone just in case.
Bang, bang play as the ball was delivered. That's when Davis dished out the punishment.
You know, they brought Bernard in as he jogs off the field. What a great sign that is. But they brought him in motion, and that kind of gave the defense an idea. They were in zone coverage, and so Vontae Davis could see this play the whole way. He delivers a crushing blow.
So Jeremy Hill will come into the game for Cincinnati. And Gene Steratore could be having another problem with the contact lens. Steratore just left the sideline area.
He's got a little bit of a blinking problem there in his left eye.
Excellent analysis, Stan. Thank you.
Well, look at him. He's blinking it out.
We'll go to our optometrist back in the studio soon.
They play one on TV.
2nd and 10 for the Bengals.
Wait, hold on!
Limited to 19 yards of offense. Give it to Hill. He's stacked up. The Colts stack the line. And everybody in pursuit of the young running back led by Ricky Jean-Francois, the former 49er, a loss of 3.
Number 99 is Jean-Francois, and he beats the block of Andrew Whitworth there. But you can see all the Colts on their feet with pursuit, cutting off that outside run.
Now it's 3rd and 13 for Cincinnati. 7.5 to play in this first half. Bernard back in there. Another hit. Bernard takes a shot from the veteran Mike Adams. Cincinnati 3 and out for the 6th consecutive possession.
Bernard's going to be wondering, hey, what do I have to do to avoid these tremendous collisions here? Adams comes up again with a shoulder right to the rib cage of Bernard.
Another punt from Kevin Huber. Didn't get all of it, but does get Cincinnati roll and settles in at the 24. That's where the Colts will have it after the 43-yard punt. Giovanni Bernard. He is going to be feeling this one into next week.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. And by Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever.
Cincinnati entered action averaging 397 yards per game. They have 16 total in the first half, -3 in the second quarter. Vontez Burfict on the Cincinnati bench. Told you about the concussion problems he's had this season. Time of possession, it's all Indianapolis. Number 1 in the NFL in that category. They can add to it here with a 1st and 10 at the 24. Bradshaw driven down by Pecco. Loss of 2 on the play.
Well, the loss of Burfict is huge, as much emotionally as it is physically for Cincinnati. Fiery leader. Each player on that defense would tell you that he gives them all energy. Now the Bengals are going to have to find that type of player. It may be Pecco. Pecco's had a solid first half.
Another injury for Cincinnati. Leon Hall, a back issue. His return listed as probable. So Adam Jones is in there. 2nd and 12 for the Colts. Under 6.5 to go in the second quarter. Luck gets out of trouble. Luck on the move. Hits Bradshaw. Brought down at the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 8 off the scramble by Luck. Bernard there defensively for the Bengals.
Watch the pressure here. Carlos Dunlap is going to get around Sherrills here. Excuse me, Dunlap came from the other side showing good speed. Dunlap's had a good first half with a forced fumble and a fumble recovery.
So 3rd and 4 now for the Colts. Bradshaw remains in there. 263 yards of offense in the first half for Indy. Luck. Clean pocket. Nobody home. Wallace Gilberry getting in there late to put the pressure on Luck. And the Colts go 3 and out.
That's how important that first down play of Pecos was. Put the Colts off schedule and the good pass rush by Dunlap. And then good pressure that time and coverage in the deep secondary. Good zone coverage that time by the Bengals.
Adam Jones averaging 23.5 yards per return this season, along with 47 off the McAfee punt. Jones makes his move. Nowhere to go. He's brought down to the 25 by Colt Anderson on special teams. 48-yard punt. Coming up, we'll have the Verizon halftime report. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cower all getting ready for the latest NFL scores and highlights, and a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. That's coming up on the Verizon halftime report. Cincinnati with a 1st and 10 at its own 25. Bengals are only down 10-0 despite producing just 16 yards of offense. Give it to Bernard. No, it's Dalton keeping it himself for no gain on the play. Jarrell Freeman wraps him up.
That's how desperate the Bengals are right now. A little read option play that time. Dalton pulled it out of the stomach of Bernard and picked up a half a yard.
This time it is Bernard. Stutter step move for 2. We'll hit the 5-minute mark of the second quarter. DeQuell Jackson in on the stop for Indy.
And remember, the Bengals are working with a rookie center, Russell Bodine, 4th-round pick out of North Carolina. And with all this crowd noise, and last time out, almost snapped the ball right by Dalton.
Bengals looking for their first down of the half. Dalton throws. Incomplete. Trying to get it to Sanu, but Greg Toller all over it for Indianapolis.
And Toller's having a heck of a first half here. Sanu with just 1 catch in the first half. Look at this coverage. Toller beat Sanu to the spot and tips his ball up in the air, but no other Colt could get there in time to haul it in.
On 4th down, did a whole lot of Kevin Huber. Griff Whalen settles under it. Whalen working the sideline. Flag is thrown as he is hit at the 35-yard line by James Wright. 7-yard return after the 45-yard punt.
Be an illegal block on this return against the Colts. Will back the Colts up.
Return, holding, return team number 31. 10-yard penalty, 1st down Indianapolis.
Backup safety Dewey McDonald called on the penalty. Next Sunday, NFL on CBS dials up doubleheader action. First, the Seahawks and the Panthers square off. Then the Colts battle the Steelers. Check your local listings beginning with JB, Tony, Bart, Coach, and Boomer. The NFL today.
Well, this is the situation in a game where Andrew Luck has been so impressive in just his 3rd year. The hurry-up offense at the end of the half, at the end of a ball game.
10-0 lead for Indianapolis. Remember, they led Houston 24-0 last Thursday. Catch by Fleener and hit right away by DeMonch. The Texans were able to battle back and make a game of it. Indianapolis held on for a 33-28 win to improve to 4-2.
Good hit that time by DeMonch as he sent Fleener sideways after the catch. Fleener looking to get turned up field, but DeMonch there, a big hit.
Call it second and a long 4 here. Trent Richardson lines up next to Luck. 3.5 to play in the second quarter. Luck steps up. Luck rifles it. Knocked up in the air. Incomplete. Reggie Wayne, the intended target in a matchup with Adam Jones.
We're seeing some really outstanding cornerback play this afternoon. Toller before. Now watch Adam Jones break on this ball. That ball goes off the helmet of Jones high in the air, and still no Bengal can get to that interception, but that's just perfect coverage by Adam Jones.
Third down now for Indy. Neither team has converted on a third down yet today. Shifting to the outside is Fleener. Working out of the gun. Rush. Pocket collapses. And Luck is devoured. Back of the 18-yard line. Colts could not handle the rush from Cincinnati, and Carlos Dunlap among those there. It's a loss of 9 on the play.
Yeah, 5-man rush for Cincinnati. And Kobe Fleener was split out wide, but it was a good job by Terrence Newman, as that was a mismatch that the Colts were hoping to take advantage of, but that 5-man rush got to the quarterback.
Pat McAfee will punt it. Brandon Tate now in there as the return man, standing at his own 30. Great kick from McAfee. From the 22, Tate. Slowed down to the 25. It's a 59-yard punt, 6-yard return for Tate. And now the Bengals will have 2.5 minutes to work with here at the end of the first half, trailing 10-0. Andy Dalton, Andrew Luck. 6 of 15 for Dalton, 12 yards against this Indianapolis defense. Luck, 14 of 23 for a $192 through the air.
Defensive coordinator Greg Minuski mixing his zone looks and his pressure looks has really got this Bengal team that looks confused on offense so far in the first half.
On first down, it's Hill. Not much there. Hill fighting for extra yards. Brought down after the gain of 2.5 by Daquell Jackson.
Well, the Bengals not in any hurry here. They have 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. They're taking their good sweet time here to get this play called and lined up.
Defending champions in the AFC North, win their first division title since '09. They'll get the playoff before the 2-minute warning. Knocked down. Dalton couldn't even get a clean pass out of there. Jack Kerr, the rookie from Delaware, extending to knock it away. 1:59 to play in the second quarter here in Indy. Well, the Indianapolis defense has been tremendous in this first half. This is a 3rd and 7 for Cincinnati. 1:59 to play in the second quarter. Shotgun for Dalton. Dalton throws. Catch is made. No, it's not. Incomplete. Greg Little, just signed by Cincinnati. He was cut by Oakland previously with Cleveland.
And the issue's always been drop passes. Well, his first shot with the Bengals had the first down with the catch. Can't make the catch.
That is 8 3-and-outs for the Cincinnati offense. Kevin Hubert. If Whalen moves forward, fair catch. Just short of the 30-yard line. That's where Indy will have it with 1:48 to play in the first half. Coming up, Verizon halftime report. We'll send it to the studio. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cower. Latest NFL scores and highlights, and a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. That's the Verizon halftime report. This season, Indianapolis, 33 points scored in the last 2 minutes of the first half. That's the most in the NFL. So this is Andrew Luck at his best in that 2-minute drill.
Four down.
Luck has thrown for 300 yards in 4 straight games. The team record is 5 in a row, set by Peyton Manning back in 2009. steps up, gets clobbered. Big shot by Gilberry.
Now Gilberry is number 95. Along with Dunlap, they collapse the pocket. It's a pretty good hit here.
Contact, and therefore the spot of the pass is irrelevant. Second down.
So no sack on the play as Luck did get rid of it at the last moment. 2nd and 10 now for the Colts.
And this is a Cincinnati team that in the second quarter has outscored their opponents 45-9 so far this season.
Montez Perfect remains on the Cincinnati sideline. Marquise Flowers has replaced him. The middle for Bradshaw. Keeps on going across the 35-yard line for an 8-yard pickup.
Well, the thing he does is he never stops his legs. You just see his legs churning there after contact. Tremendous desire to pick up yards.
8 carries, 45 yards, and a touchdown for Bradshaw. 3rd and 2 now for the Colts. And a timeout call.
That call was from
First
the
charge
sidelines.
timeout, Indianapolis. A 30-second timeout.
I think Pep Hamilton did not like in the formation for the Colts.
So Andy Dalton, this has been a struggle for the offense. There's Hugh Jackson and backup quarterback Jason Campbell. Yet, you look up at the scoreboard, it's only 10-0. It's been all Indianapolis statistically, but 2 fumbles, 1 from Richardson, 1 from Bradshaw, allowing Cincinnati to stay very much in it.
And the Bradshaw fumble happened inside the red zone. The Trent Richardson fumble happened on positive territory, the Cincinnati side of the field. So they had good drives going that were nullified by those 2 fumbles.
268 yards of offense for Indy, just 21 for Cincinnati. 3rd and 2 now for the Colts. 1:14 to play in the first half. Motion man is Hilton. He's got 93 yards receiving on 6 catches. Luck, deep ball. Oh, he had Fleener open. Incomplete. The Colts will punt. Gilberry again getting to the QB.
Well, Fleener didn't expect both corners to jump the flat to T.Y. Hilton. You can see he's wide open, but never really anticipated the ball would be coming to him. He was running a clear out route for Hilton. That would have been a huge play for the Colts.
So Marvin Lewis said it's based on feel as to whether or not he puts Adam Jones back there to return punts. The feeling right now is they want him to touch the football. McAfee goes down. Jones catches it at the 5, spin move to the 10, brought down by McDonald.
Let's go back and see how close this was being blocked, and then was it roughing the punter? McAfee off the ground, and that's the signal that Gene Steratore gave that this is not running into or roughing the punter.
Now McAfee, anticipating there was going to be a hit, goes down. Hewitt wasn't even facing him. He was pushed towards him, and that was the call from Steratore. Cincinnati has 3 timeouts to work with, 59 seconds on the clock. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
This is got to be close to an NFL record for a first half, with neither team able to convert on 3rd downs. Combine them 0 for 14.
Well, if Cincinnati doesn't get a first down, that would tie an NFL record for fewest first downs in the first half.
That's one of those records that'll never be broken.
No, never. Yep. Dan,
0 is 0.
You're such a history buff when it comes to the NFL. You've got the finger on the pulse.
And now we have a flag.
Penalty marker thrown at the 19.
That was after both teams were almost back in their respective huddles.
No gain for Giovanni Bernard.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense number 93 for contact against official. That player is ejected from the game. Number 93.
Wow! Eric Walden has been tossed from the game. He has been an impact player for the Colts on defense. Contact with an official and Cincinnati will get a first down. Right there. And there's the flag.
That's our head linesman, Jim Hoey. And that is a huge disqualification.
Dan Walden has not left the field. And now he will be escorted by Gene Steratore. Jonathan Newsom will come in to replace him. And now Chuck Pagano wants an explanation.
It's pretty clear. You can't put your hands on the official. Watch number 93 here. He's going to push right there, and that's all it took. As officials trying to separate Gresham from Walden. And Gresham will celebrate as the Bengals have their first down.
So that's it for Walden. Newsom comes in to replace. And the Bengals now trying to push it up the field to Gresham. Out across the 35-yard line. We're down to 40 seconds to play in this first half.
They got all 3 timeouts too. They use their first one.
Timeout.
That is a 6-yard pickup through the. Well, Mike Carey, our rules expert, monitoring this situation. Mike, obviously you've faced situations like this. What did you see? Was that enough to warrant Eric Walden being tossed from the game?
Well, what we see is a arm pushed into the chest of the official. What we don't see or hear is the bad intention that might have accompanied that. And the league is very clear that total respect has to be done by the player towards the official and vice versa, for that matter, all game long. And you can see that overt move with the right hand. Of course, that's enough, especially with bad intentions.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Short day for Eric Walden. He has been ejected from the game. Cincinnati now facing a 2nd and 4. Dalton steps up. He throws to Gresham. Gresham breaks a tackle, and Gresham extends for a first down. We're down to 30 seconds left. 5-yard pickup.
Second charge timeout.
It's really a dangerous move by Gresham too, extending the ball in traffic like that. But he did just enough to pick up the first down.
So line of scrimmage will be the 42-yard line of Cincinnati.
Now they'd like to get Mike Nugent within range. His career long. You see the line that they have to gain all the way to the 37-yard line. Make it about a 54-yard field goal. And he would love to make amends for what happened last week in overtime. Missing a chip shot.
Career long of 55, a season long of 49 for Nugent. Seconds to go in this first half. 10-0 lead for Indianapolis. Flag is down. Dalton flicks it out of bounds. Jonathan Newsom.
I think they're going to get Corey Redding for beating that snap count.
Offside. Defense number 92 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Well, Werner leaning into the neutral zone, but it also looked like the Colts were beat the snap.
So 1st and 5 now at the 47-yard line. 26 seconds remain in this second quarter. 4 penalties against Indianapolis, and penalties have been a problem for a Colts team that had the fewest penalties last season. Dalton steps up. Hit again! Dalton is thrown down by the veteran Redding. Indianapolis, 18 sacks this season.
Well, Redding and Werner were working a little bit of a twist that time. Watch Werner come around, and Redding just goes right by Andre Smith to the quarterback, and that'll do it.
10 different Colts have had a sack this season, and that'll be the final play of this opening half. 27 total yards for the Cincinnati offense and a 10-0 lead for the Colts. Let's send it downstairs. Jenny Dell with Chuck Pagano.
Coach, can you explain what just happened there with Walden?
I guess two players were out there doing whatever, and Eric was trying to get the player off of him and accidentally contact an official. So I don't know. I didn't see it happen, so that's what they told me happened.
The Colts D has been dominant, but the offense, the numbers are there, but the score's only 10-0. What needs to change?
We got to move the ball on offense, and we got to score points. We've had opportunities. We got 2 turnovers on offense, 2 fumbles in the red area. You can't do it. Defense is playing lights out. We got to take advantage of these opportunities.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, Jenny, end of the first half. The Colts up 10-0 on the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll come back. Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. Colts and the Bengals, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Oh, big hit! Bradshaw bulldozes in. Touchdown, Colts. Getting ready for the start of the second half. Lucas Oil Stadium, 10-0. Colts leading the Bengals. What a battle it's been here in Indy. Iron Eagle along with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. Colts have been to the playoffs each of the last 2 years. Bengals 3 consecutive years. Obviously, they've got very high hopes for this season. If you're Cincinnati, you have to feel pretty grateful that you're only down 10-0. What has to change offensively? They have not been able to get anything going.
Well, they get the ball to start the second half, and they got a little bit of momentum there at the end of the first half, but they have to start getting Giovanni Bernard more involved. He's taken a couple of really hellacious hits in that first half, but he's the key player for Cincinnati, especially with A.J. Green out.
A.J. Green out with a toe injury. Mohamed Sanu held to just 1 catch in that first half. Andy Dalton, 8 of 19 for 23 yards. Colts turned it over twice. Fumbles from both running backs. Bradshaw first, and then Richardson. Pat McAfee kicked it off. Brandon Tate takes a knee. They'll have it at the 20 as we send it over to Jenny Dell.
Well, and I just talked to Marvin Lewis, and he said that 8 3-and-outs in the first half is absolutely unacceptable, and his message to this team at the half was simple. Play the way that you've been coached to play. Play the way that you have practiced, and there's no update right now on Perfect at this point, just that he has been downgraded to doubtful at this time.
So Cincinnati, without their 3 starting linebackers, the injuries just piling up for the Bengals. On first down, Giovanni Bernard picks up 3.5. Jarrell Freeman there defensively. First half numbers, 27 total yards for Cincinnati of offense. 2 first downs, 1 on a penalty. Third fewest yards for the Bengals in a first half since 1991.
I'm not sure I would call it offense, more like offensive.
It's a play on words. See what you did there. 2nd and 6. Shotgun for Dalton. Pump and throw. Incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, just out of sorts. Nothing working on this side of the ball. Josh Chapman was very close to Bernard.
But you're right about being out of sorts, and I've been through this type of situation where it seems like nothing is working, and you get itchy in your own skin as a quarterback. You throw that little screen pass to Bernard 100 times in practice. That time, Dalton rushed it, threw it too hard, and missed a tough catch to make.
Freeman was hurt on that play. He's replaced by Josh McNary. Freeman missed 3 games this season with a hamstring injury. Bengals 0 for 8 on 3rd down today. Trying to convert it. Gresham won't get there. Bengals go 3 and out to open up this second half.
And that's 6 catches now for Gresham. He's the leading receiver by far. Sanu has 1 catch, Pierman 1, Bernard 1. But of those 6 catches for Gresham, only 15 yards. Nothing down the field for Cincinnati.
Kevin Huber will punt it to Griff Whalen. Whalen settles in at the 22. Booming kick from Huber, and Whalen a fair catch at the 15-yard line. A 56-yard punt for the Cincinnati product. Physical play that has stood out from the very start.
Just tremendous hits. That's the hit there that got Burton to the sidelines, but Giovanni Bernard's taken a couple of big hits, as have the quarterbacks this afternoon. Defenses in a 10-0 game. And as you said, Cincinnati lucky to still be in this game with how poorly they played on offense, and the turnovers for the Colts have kept them from not scoring more than just 10 points.
Once again, Doyle lines up in the backfield in front of Richardson on a 1st and 10 from the 15. First offensive play of this third quarter for Indianapolis. It's Richardson up the gut. Spin move across the 20 for 5.5. Jack Doyle with that block to help get Richardson some running room.
Well, Doyle is a tight end fullback. We already saw a good job he did leading Bradshaw into the end zone. He's 6'6", about 270, so bigger than a normal fullback, but has the agility of a tight end. Very effective so far, leading both Bradshaw and Richardson.
He's a local product, Doyle, out of Cathedral High School in Indianapolis. 2nd and 5 for the Colts. Working out of the pistol man. Fake the handoff. Luck. Steps up. Luck. Soft toss. Dropped by Richardson. Let's go to New York. JB, Tony standing by. NFL Today update.
Colt McCoy hasn't done this in a long time.
Yeah, right here on his first pass to Pierre Garçon. He takes it 70 yards down the sideline. They can't catch him. Colt McCoy saying, hey, this is easy. Washington up 13-10.
First touchdown pass in nearly 2 years. Coach's decision to pull out Cousins. Iron Eagle.
Well, you could sense that was coming in D.C. Cousins, too many turnovers. And now Colt McCoy, the former Cleveland Brown, getting an opportunity. Kobe Fleener, the catch in traffic from Luck. 23 yards in between Iloka and Nelson, splitting defenders.
Yeah, spectacular catch. Watch as he reaches over the top of Iloka to make the catch. And they'll get extra yardage, about 12 more yards, but this is really a super catch under pressure from Iloka.
Line of scrimmage is now the 46 of Indianapolis. First third down conversion of the day. The Colts are now 1 of 7. Well, they've got 15 total first downs. Third catch of the afternoon for Fleener. Play action. Luck. Steps and fires. Drop ball. Reggie Wayne.
Well, you know, he hurt his hand earlier in the game, and I wonder if it's still bothering him because we just don't see this very often. Put this in the time capsule. Reggie Wayne wide open on a hook route, not making the catch.
6-time Pro Bowler Wayne coming back from torn ACL surgery. 35 catches on the season for Wayne for 428 yards, inching closer to James Lofton for 8th all-time in receiving yards. 2nd and 10 for Indy. From the gun, Luck fires. He hits T.Y. Hilton out of bounds. First down in Cincinnati territory. Dre Kirkpatrick, the defender, 14-yard pickup through the air.
Now look at the timing here. Hilton just turning his head as the ball is about halfway to him. Yeah, he likes that. Dre Kirkpatrick, third-year player out of Alabama, was turned around for 14-yard gain.
Now we haven't seen Leon Hall for a long stretch now, out with a back injury. So the injury to Burfict, injury to Hall, two of the biggest playmakers on defense for the Bengals. Luck. Underneath, Richardson, the catch and run. Short of a first down, he picks up 8 yards. DeMonch making the play for Cincinnati.
That's a great tackle by DeMonch because it looked like Richardson had a full head of steam going. But with that squared up tackle by DeMonch, it keeps Richardson from picking up the first down.
3 catches, 41 yards now for Richardson. Indianapolis on the move once again, now facing a 2nd and 2. Over 300 total yards for the Colts. Coming up on 10.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. 10-0 lead for Indy. Out of the pistol, give it to Richardson. Nothing there, no gain on the play. Margus Hunt, second-year defensive lineman from SMU, part of that crowd defensively for Cincinnati.
Yeah, it looked like Richardson refused to follow his lead blocker, Dwayne Allen. Allen playing in that fullback position, led up through the hole, but Richardson took it to the outside instead.
8th play of the drive. 3rd and 2 now for the Colts. Ahmad Bradshaw now in the backfield. Shotgun Luck. High throw. It's handled by Allen. Allen down the sideline. Allen getting the angle. Touchdown, Colts. 32 yards. Dwayne Allen with the catch and the run for the score.
Tremendous catch, number 1, and then the speed. Remember, Allen goes about 270 as he gets down the sideline, stays in bounds, and breaks the plane. But does the left foot go out of bounds? No, not there.
He tripped on his own feet, and there he hits the pylon.
But as he's hitting the pylon, the ball is across the goal line. And they will take a look at this upstairs because it's a scoring play.
If it stands, it's 4 touchdowns in his last 5 games for the 3rd-year tight end from Clemson.
That's 9 touchdown catches for the Colt tight ends this season.
Adam Vinatieri, the extra point. It's an 8-play, 85-yard drive for the Indianapolis Colts. Dwayne Allen taking care of business. Terrific individual effort. Well, a big part of this Colts offense is the fact you have so many options for Andrew Luck. Dwayne Allen, the latest recipient for Luck. T.Y. Hilton has been terrific as well. 7 catches, 107 yards. Allen with the touchdown grab. The kickoff, Tate takes the knee, and Cincinnati will have it at the 20. Dwayne Allen maintaining his balance, walking a tightrope along the sideline for the touchdown. 17-0, Indianapolis leading Cincinnati here in the 3rd quarter.
Heads up play by Reggie Wayne, avoiding the illegal pick on the inside here and allowing Allen to just get enough separation from the linebacker Vincent Ray.
This Indy D got carved up by Andy Dalton last year to the tune of 42 points for Cincinnati. Completely different story here this afternoon. Dalton and the Bengals offense really struggling. Dalton throws, hauled in by Sanu. And that's the longest play of the day for Cincinnati, covering 14 yards.
And Hugh Jackson wants the Bengals to pick up the tempo. Right to the line of scrimmage they go. Good first play for the Bengals coming off their 20-yard line.
9 3-and-outs for Cincinnati. First down for the Bengals. Just short of the 35. Dalton getting it in the hands of Gresham. Josh McNary, who has stepped in for the injured Jarrell Freeman. McNary from Army. Army's all-time leader in sacks. He served 2 years in the military. Walked on at Army. Tremendous story that he's playing in the NFL and getting opportunities because Freeman's had a tough time staying on the field this season. 2nd and 4 here for the Bengals. Running play, Bernard. Gets to the outside, but did not have the room to work with. Limited to a 2-yard gain. Josh Gordy there defensively. McNary from Houston, Texas. His father, George, a retired captain in the U.S. Marine Corps. Bengals are 0 of 9 on third down today. Colts, the number 1 defense in the NFL on third down. 3rd and 2. Dalton feeling the rush. Incomplete, nobody home in the area of Sanu. Jean-Francois with the hit on Dalton.
Well, Greg Minuski dialing up another blitz against Andy Dalton on a 3rd and short. It's a long, slow developing pass play on 3rd and short. You would anticipate something a little bit quicker, but right now, Minuski having his way with the defense, putting pressure on Dalton.
This is the 10th punt of the day for Huber. Return man is Whalen. He lets this one roll. Does it turn out to be a good decision? No. Cincinnati will down it inside the 5. So the Colts deep in their own territory, but they've got a 17-0 lead. 54-yard punt from Huber. Flag is thrown late at the 18-yard line. After the ball was touched.
During the kick, holding, return team number 23. Half the distance to the goal. First down, Indianapolis. Timeout.
That's Luchez Purifoy, and that's even worse for Indianapolis. 8:01 to go in the 3rd. Week 7 continues later today on Fox, then tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC, and tune in tomorrow, Monday Night Football on ESPN. 17-0 lead for Indianapolis, looking for its 5th consecutive win. Cincinnati, after starting the season 3-0, a loss to New England, a tie against Carolina last week. And the Bengals have been limited to 58 total yards this afternoon.
And if they're going to have any chance of winning this ball game, the defense has to make a play here. They don't get some type of turnover, at least force a 3 and out so that the offense will have positive field position for their next possession.
6 offensive linemen here for Indianapolis. Joe Wright is the extra lineman. 1st and 10, Colts deep in their own territory. Mont Bradshaw, single setback. And movement, a lot of it. Hugh Thornton on the right side.
False start. Offense number 69. Half the distance to the goal.
A 10-inch penalty, though. Can't go back much further. But an indication that the Colts were going to run the ball off the goal line here as Thornton with a big jump.
Leon Hall remains on the Cincinnati sideline with no helmet, just standing. Back injury. His return is listed as doubtful. Luck trying to get Indianapolis a little bit of yardage to work with. Just some breathing room here. Forward progress might give them a yard or in that general area.
And the Bengals were ready for that quarterback sneak. Luck usually gets a couple of yards on that. Had absolutely nothing. Half a yard maybe.
From the 2 for Indianapolis. 7.5 to go in the 3rd. It's a running play. Bradshaw, they push the file across the 5 for a 4-yard pickup.
That looks like the play they wanted to run on 1st down before Thornton jumped off sides. I think behind Newhart and Costanzo on the left side with Doyle leading the way. Watch Bradshaw cover up on that ball as Gilberry on his back.
So it's 3rd and 6 for the Colts. Big play defensively from Cincinnati. Chance to get outstanding field position. Maybe threaten on offense for the first time. Luck out of his own end zone. Luck, double pump. And he throws it away. Puts it over the head of Hilton out of bounds. Defended by Dre Kirkpatrick, the 3rd-year corner from Alabama. 3 and out for Indy.
Yeah, really good pressure by Cincinnati. 4 down linemen just coming at Luck. That's why he had extra time to throw, but it looked like Gilbert had a shot at him as he got underneath the Cherilus.
So Marvin Lewis sends out Adam Jones, the 8-year veteran. Pat McAfee out of his own end zone. Angling it towards the sideline, out of bounds. Jones won't even get a chance to touch it. Cincinnati will have excellent field position as they mark it off. 17-0 lead. Back in Indy, aerial coverage of today's game provided by MetLife. Colts and the Bengals. They've played 7 times in the last 10 years. Freeman is back in there for Indianapolis. Remember, Eric Walden was ejected from the game in the second quarter. Get it to Sanu. Sanu is a threat to throw it. Looking downfield and out of bounds. Ricky Jean-Francois fencing him in.
Well, Sanu's 2 for 2 passing this year with 1 touchdown pass. He's going to throw this ball to Giovanni Bernard. Watch Bernard sneak out of the backfield. Right about here, though, Sanu doesn't have anything. Should have thrown this ball away instead of taking the sack and going out of bounds, losing 5 yards. Former high school quarterback.
He actually went to Rutgers as a safety, and then they moved him to wide receiver. He was hurting wideouts during practice. A jump ball opportunity, and Vontae Davis wins in that matchup with Sanu.
We have seen some really good cornerback play this afternoon. Again, it looked like Vontae Davis was the one running this route down the sidelines. He had Sanu pinned to the sideline, making it difficult for both Dalton and Sanu to complete this pass. But great job by Vontae Davis again.
Andy Dalton is 11 of 25, 49 yards. This is a 3rd and 16. Flags down.
Yeah, Clint Bowling, left guard, moved early.
False start. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
3rd penalty against Cincinnati.
You know, they had great field position at the 47-yard line. They lose 5 yards on Sanu taking a sack, and now another 5-yard penalty. This brings up a 3rd and long for Cincinnati. They may think if they get 10 yards out of this, or 12 or 15, going for it on 4th down.
3rd and 21 for the Bengals. They have produced just 52 yards of offense. Dalton is dumped by Werner. Bjorn Werner stepping in for Robert Mathis, who suffered an Achilles injury working out during his 4-game suspension. He's out for the season, and Werner continues to impress.
Well, he just dismisses Andre Smith. Gave him it looked like a Reggie White type of move. Picks up his 4th sack of the season, playing that rush end spot that Robert Mathis has made so famous here in Indy.
Huber, his 11th punt, he just tied the Bengals record with Lee Johnson and Kyle Larson for most punts in the game. Whalen, fair catch called for. Andrew Luck and the Indy offense back on the field. Bjorn Werner and the Colts defense dominating. The number 5 offense in the NFL, Cincinnati Bengals. They have 47 total yards, and they trail Indianapolis 17-0. 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Colts have the football, first and 10 at the 15. Up the middle, Richardson. Hugh Thornton with a good block up front. Richardson leans forward for an 8-yard pickup.
You know, there's accuracy, and then there's ball placement. Cleaner at 6'6", ball thrown high. Dwayne Allen at 6'3", again, the placement perfect for both the tight ends. And the reward is a touchdown.
2nd and 2 for the Colts. Richardson, 11 carries, 52 yards. Bradshaw, 9 for 49. That 1-2 punch not working for Indy. Not gonna do it. Richardson doesn't get to the marker. Combination of Ray and Flowers. No Vontez Burfict moved out. Told it was a neck injury. Remember, he had been having issues with a concussion. Missed a couple of games because of it. Malaluga and Lemur didn't dress for Cincinnati because of injury. Malaluga sitting out with a hamstring problem, and Lemur out with a shoulder injury.
That was an instance where Richardson, not knowing, just needing 2 yards, came up short, not being decisive in his attacking the line of scrimmage.
6 offensive linemen. Bradshaw. He's got a first down. Needed a yard. Plunges for 2. 3.5 to go in the third.
Yeah, no hesitation at all that time for Ahmad Bradshaw.
Yeah, that's the way Pagano described it when we asked him about his running game. He said the team is grinding it out on the ground, finding playmakers in the passing game. O-line has really come together. And the offense has exceeded expectations, believe it or not. And they had high hopes for number 1 in most major categories. Richardson angles to the outside and a first down run of 11 yards. JB, Tony Gonzalez in New York. NFL Today update.
Down 21-3, Seattle battling back.
Yeah, they're coming back. And right here, you're going to see Russell Wilson looks right, looks left, throws to Cooper Helfet for 19 yards. Coming back, 19-21.
9:44 left in regulation. Back to Iron Eagle.
And after the Percy Harvin deal, questions as to whether or not Seattle has enough playmakers at that wide receiver spot / tight end. Harvin now a member of the New York Jets. First and 10 for Indy, just short of the 40-yard line. Richardson for a hold. The acceleration by Richardson brings it across the 45 for 9.
Boy, they just cave in this side of the Bengal defense here. Watch Richardson get behind Sherrill is here, and it's the lead block by Dwayne Allen. Both Allen and Jack Doyle doing a great job out of basically a fullback position, leading both Bradshaw and Richardson to big gains. 5 straight running plays as the Colts grind this one out.
This possession already 3.5 minutes for Indy. Richardson, first down. Knocked out of bounds in Cincinnati territory. 4-yard pickup for Trent Richardson.
He's a lot more decisive. We saw in the previous run, back when he just needed 2 yards, he decided to jump outside, but he's getting more consistent in his decision making. That time, good speed to the outside, and he's having a heck of an afternoon. 15 carries, 77 yards, 3 catches for another 41 yards for Richardson.
And the Colts lost Vic Ballard, another running back in the preseason, and he was going to be a factor for them offensively as well on IR back-to-back years for Ballard. But a tripper, Dante Moncrief. Nothing there. Bengals ready for it. Brought down by Adam Jones. No gain on the play.
And you can almost expect and anticipate trick plays when a team gets out to midfield, and they've been running the ball so effectively. The Bengals, though, were in the perfect defense that time, a little zone defense where the corner could stay at home and see that reverse coming his way.
Cincinnati has not been in Colts territory today.
Yeah, they were 3 yards away from Colt territory last time they had the ball.
7 plays on this possession, 7 running plays. This time they'll throw on 2nd and 10. Luck hooks a pass for Fleeman. Extends out to the 39. Tackle made by Vincent Ray. That'll be the final play of this third quarter. Indianapolis with a 17-0 lead, looking for its 5th consecutive win. We'll return after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. 17-0 lead for Indianapolis over Cincinnati. Colts have produced 404 yards of offense. They've held the Bengals to 47 yards total. And a 3rd and 1 to open up this 4th quarter for Indy.
Bengals are averaging 1.7 yard per rush. They've stopped the run.
Avis! Go! Red Aiden!
Empty backfield, 5 receivers for Luck to work it from the gun. Luck finds the open man on the juggle. Bradshaw. First down Colts, 18 yards.
Yeah, a little halfback post route out of the backfield, and it's a double catch for Bradshaw as he adjusts to the ball thrown behind him. Keeps his eyes on it and picks up extra yards. Luck in the backfield. Gets blasted again. Again, it's Dunlap.
299 yards passing for Andrew Luck. First down from the 21. Luck throws it to the outside, and it's caught by Moncrief. And it's now 5 straight 300-yard passing games for Andrew Luck, tying a team record set by Peyton Manning in 09.
And you can see the confusion in the secondary there as Moncrief left wide open. Terrence Newman looking for the in-cutting route on that slot formation. And Moncrief has his 9th catch of the season.
11th play of the drive for Indianapolis. Just inside the 12. Richardson, single setback. 3 tight ends in this formation, and Boyle will set up at fullback. Luck looking, throw short, caught by Richardson, and brought down by Flowers. 6th round draft pick. Good speed.
Tackled by number 3, Marquise Flowers for Cincinnati. Luck had a lot of time to survey the end zone that time. You know, these receivers looking back at Luck are going to be looking right into the sun, something I'm sure they're not accustomed to here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Roof is open. It's a rare sight.
About a 50-degree day here in Indianapolis, but very comfortable at Lucas Oil Stadium. 12:58 to go in the 4th. And Andrew Luck will do it himself. 2-yard pickup. First and goal for the Colts.
Really a heady play by Andrew Luck. He saw the gap over Hugh Thornton. Watch as he just takes advantage of it and getting down low quickly before the hit can come. That's just heads up and heads first.
First and goal at the 10 for the Colts. Medical staff is checking on Trent Richardson along the Colts sideline. On first down, Luck swings it. Bradshaw the catch. Bradshaw the cut. Bradshaw fighting.
They're not going to give him the touchdown. I'm going to say he was down just short of the end zone. I'm not so sure. The officials discussing it now right at the goal line. Neither one would throw their hands up in the air signaling touchdown, but you got to love this effort. The cut to the inside to get away from the corner. And then how close does he come? He's on top of the defender. That's a touchdown. That's worth a challenge for Chuck Pagano. He is on top of the defender, so he's not down on the ground when he reaches the ball over right there.
And the red flag has been tossed by Pagano.
That's a good throw by Pagano because he tossed it about 20 yards.
Nice form.
Yeah, he really followed through well. Good job of communication between the press box and the sidelines for the Colts.
Indianapolis is challenging on the field that the runner was down by contact short of the goal line. Timeout.
If it's a touchdown, it'll be number 6 through the air for Bradshaw. Officials will take a look at it. Great effort.
After review, the ruling on the field is overturned to a touchdown.
Touchdown, Ahmad Bradshaw.
Bradshaw goes down right on top of George Iloka. Knowing where the goal line is, reaches out with the ball and breaks the plane before his shoulder hits down.
Iloka actually had Bradshaw by the knee, and because he actually got in between the knee and the ground, Bradshaw, with the body control, spins his way for the touchdown.
That's how bad it's been for Cincinnati today. And that look tells you all you need to know for Marvin Lewis.
Extra point from Adam Vinatieri. $24-0. The Colts in front on 13 play 85-yard drive. Brashaw's got a touchdown on the ground and through the air. Tomorrow on CBS, see why critics are saying the new hit drama Scorpion has some real sting. Don't miss a new episode tomorrow at 9, 8 Central, only CBS. Cincinnati Bengals down 24-0 on the road in Indianapolis. 12:09 to play in the fourth. Bengals in jeopardy to falling to 3-2-1 on the season. McAfee will kick it off. Adam Jones is deep for Cincinnati. Jones moves forward, 3 yards deep. Lorenzo takes it out. Jones has a lean across the 25. Jones breaks a tackle and brought down by the punter, McAfee. Pat McAfee goes 6'1", 240, getting into the fray for Indy on special teams.
It's a good thing, too, because normally a good returner like Adam Jones makes the kicker miss all the time. But a good wrapping up, going high on the tackle for McAfee. He's having a Pro Bowl year.
Very popular player here at Indy. Does a lot in the community. Great personality and great at his job. On first down, Dalton. Short toss to Gresham. Out across the 40-yard line, 6-yard gain. Ahmad Bradshaw with 52 yards rushing and a touchdown. 36 yards receiving and a score. 2nd and 4 for the Bengals. 11:35 to play at Lucas Oil Stadium. Jeremy Hill is in there, flanking Dalton. Incomplete. Low throw. Hill unable to haul it in.
Yeah, in talking to Hugh Jackson earlier in the week, told me he wanted Giovanni Bernard to have about 20 to 25 touches, but the Bengals' inability to convert on third downs today has limited Bernard to 7 rushes, 1 reception. The Bengals have just been 2 of 9 converting third downs, and the Colts coming in best in the NFL defending third downs.
Dalton from the gun, forced to heave it up. Sanu going upstairs. Terrific grab by Mohamed Sanu in between Toller and Brown.
Now finally, the Bengals have an answer for the Indianapolis blitz. Dalton stands tough as he takes a hit from Werner, but how about this catch by Sanu over the top of Toller? Best play of the day for the Bengals at 32 yards.
1st and 10 from the 26 of Indianapolis. Shotgun Dalton over the outside. Called in by Tate. Out of bounds. Vontae Davis there defensively for India. 7-yard pickup. Second and 3 for the Bengals. 4-man rush. Jeremy Hill has got a first down inside the 10. Good blocking from Bodine, the rookie out of North Carolina, starting center, helping to spring Hill for 11.
Well, let's check out Bodine. Right in the middle here, it's a draw play to Jeremy Hill. Hill goes about 240.
Longest run of the day, 11 yards for Cincinnati. 1st and goal for the Bengals, trying to get on the board here. Fade route, too high for Sanu. Coverage from Toller for the Colts.
Boy, Sanu got behind Toller, and I think surprised Andy Dalton because he had a touchdown in the back of the end zone if they could hook up.
Second and goal for the Bengals. Dalton is now 14 of 30, 94 yards on the day. Dalton will throw it. A dart. Caught by Tate. Brandon Tate ruled incomplete. Vontae Davis stripping the ball away as Tate couldn't complete the grab.
He gets inside of Davis. The ball is thrown perfectly, but as they're going to the ground, Davis reaches in and watch him pull the ball away. Great play, again, by Vontae Davis.
So it sets up 3rd and goal now for Cincinnati from the 8. Crowd is alive. Dalton has been dealing with it all day. Play clock is down to 3. Running play for Hill. He's dropped inside the 5. Werner, first one to contact him. And they'll leave the Cincinnati offense on the field. 4-down territory when you're down 24-0 inside the 5.
Yeah, interesting play selection there. Going with the running play on 3rd down. The draw was good the last time Hill carried it, but not so good this time.
Robert Mathis, the Pro Bowler, cheering on his teammates from the sideline. 4th and goal for the Bengals.
Oh, it's been that kind of day for Andre Smith as he jumps off sides.
It's number 71. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
But I don't mind that penalty that much. It gives them more room to work.
Well, certainly
in the passing game.
In this area, A.J. Green would normally be a factor because of his height advantage at 6'4".
Well, we've already seen Mohamed Sanu's ability to catch the ball on this drive. That long pass down the sidelines, he can get up and get it too. He'll be up against Vontae Davis.
4th and goal. Flag down, the jump by Redding. Dalton tosses it away. Penalty marker thrown at the 10.
Now Dalton saw the defense offsides.
Defense, number 90, unimpeded to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty remains. 4th down.
So they get the yardage back.
Yeah, but do they really want it?
Well, you're saying from a quarterback standpoint, you liked it better.
Well, and for the receivers too, they have much more room to maneuver. It's tougher on the defense. The defensive backs are taught not to go any deeper than 4 or 5 yards into the end zone and let anything that goes beyond them be a jump ball type of situation.
7 penalties against Indianapolis. 4th and goal for the Bengals. Motion man is Tate. Dalton steps. He fires. Incomplete. Broken up, and it was short of the goal line. Either way, Gresham, the intended receiver, and he's banged up on the play. Brown and Davis there defensively for the Colts.
Well, and Dalton throws into coverage here. If he catches this ball, he's not getting in the end zone.
With NFL Mobile, stream live local Sunday afternoon primetime games and NFL Red Zone right on your mobile device. Learn more at NFL.com/mobile. Trent Richardson, hamstring injury. He will not return. Reggie Wayne with another drop. It has been a rough day.
He's going right to that left elbow. He got injured in the first half. He's got a wrap on that elbow, and we've seen him drop 2 passes in a row now. They might think about giving Reggie a rest with this game well in hand.
And Wayne is coming to the Indianapolis sideline. Hilton, the leading receiver, 7 catches, 107 yards. Fleener, 4 catches for 64 yards. And Dwayne Allen, that terrific touchdown catch and run, 3 catches, 52 yards. Luck throws. Gets back Doyle involved, and he's got a first down. Along that sideline, Doyle, 9 catches on the season. That one covers 20 yards for the tight end.
That's twice as long as his previous long. Wide open on the sidelines, just his 9th catch of the season.
Andrew Luck, 338 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks.
And dealing it to 8 different receivers. That's the versatility of this offense and the different packages that they can present. 3 tight ends, 3 wide receivers, whatever they need.
And a new running back in, Daniel Herron. Luck throws. It's the connection with Wayne. So they get Wayne another catch. Terrence Newman, a veteran, dealing with Wayne. It's a 5-yard pickup.
And you notice that Reggie caught that ball with his body and a thump right in there between the 8 and the 7. So it's good to get his confidence back after dropping those 2 balls. This is not a good sign for the Colts. Ice bag already on the hamstring of Trent Richardson.
57's a man.
Line of scrimmage is the 30. 2nd and 5 with an even 7 minutes to play. Herron remains in there. They give it to him. Herron up the middle. First down for the Colts. 6-yard gain for Daniel Herron, Ohio State product. Colts came into the game number 16 in the NFL in rushing, just over 115 yards per game. They've got 140 on the ground here today.
Go down, Mike 5-7.
The Bengals have not been able to stop the run this season, allowing 141 yards per game on the ground. That's 29th in the league. And that's 45 more yards than they gave up last year. So for Reggie Wayne. Wayne picks up 3 yards on the play. Let's go downstairs to Jenny Dell.
Well, just a little bit more on Trent Richardson. When he initially came off the field, he was rubbing that right hamstring and stretching it out pretty good, running back and forth on the sideline here and spent some time on the bike. I actually spoke with PR, and they said initially you should see him on the next offensive possession, but then I think decided probably just be precautious at this time. No need to go and stretch him out with the score being what it is.
And the fact that Bradshaw has been so effective, they get Daniel Herron some touches here as well. 24-0 lead for the Colts. Herron right up the gut, out near midfield. It's another first down for the Colts. That's a 10-yard gain.
And the offensive line has been dominant throughout this game, whether they're running between the tackles or getting out, leading the backs, Richardson and Bradshaw. Now Herron to the outside, but they've had a very good day with the running attack.
They are closing in on 500 yards of offense. Time ticking away, down to 4:47 to go. Colts in complete control, 24-0 lead. On the ground again, Herron. Daniel Herron running with confidence. 13-yard rip for Herron inside the Cincinnati 40.
Now watch Jack Doyle has had a pretty good day leading the blockers, the runners as well. He comes in and takes care of the linebacker there. Good vision by Herron.
Counted down to almost 4 minutes left. Jack Doyle, part of that 3 tight end setup that the Colts have, and they're confident in all of them. They bring different things to the field, Allen, Fleener, and Doyle. Timeout. Play clock was winding down. Luck calls it with his team comfortably in front at home against Cincinnati.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Subway Restaurants. Subway. Train hard, eat fresh.
Coming up, Subway postgame show. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cowher, the latest NFL scores and highlights coming up on the Subway postgame show. All Colts, 3:56 to play. Toss it out to Reggie Wayne. Takes a hard hit from Jason DeMonch. Oh, the elephant enjoying himself. All your friends at the zoo, Dan?
Yeah, it's a good day at the zoo. Nice and sunny. There's the elbow shot that Reggie Wayne suffered early in this ball game. He weight comes right down on his left arm.
You know, he's in there because they're trying to get him the 20 yards, it looks like, to pass James Lofton.
Go now. 5-7 to Mike.
He's 5 yards away from moving into 8th place on the all-time receiving yards list. Running play. Herron has run it well inside to the 36. Reggie Nelson, first man there for Cincinnati. 4-yard pickup for Herron. We hit 3 minutes to go here in the fourth. And the Colts have cracked 500 yards of offense. Number 1 in the NFL, averaging 444 per game. That number will go up. Andy Dalton and the Bengals, their numbers will go down. They were number 5 in offense coming into this one.
And defensively, just not able to overcome the loss of Maaluga, Lemur, and Perfect at linebacker.
Here's Herron. Just short of the 30-yard line. 4-yard gain for Daniel Herron. So for Indianapolis, they will improve to 5-2 on the season, leading the AFC South. They're undefeated in the South, 3-0. They have 8 division titles since 2003 and 13 playoff berths in the last 15 years. Roll it down to the 2-minute warning at Lucas Oil Stadium. Colts 24, the Bengals nothing. The veteran Adam Vinatieri on for a long field goal attempt. He is 13 of 13 this season. This will be from 50 yards away for Vinatieri. McAfee will hold it. Overton, the snapper. Vinatieri. He drills it. A nice capper for the Colts. Adam Vinatieri, first player in NFL history with over 900 points for 2 teams, the Patriots and the Colts. Thursday, football starts here. AFC West Showdown. The Chargers take on the Broncos. It's Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. Well, we mentioned how tight this has been over the last 12 years. Series is tied at 12-12. 6 of the last 7 meetings have been decided by 8 points or less. San Diego beat Denver last year, needed that win to keep their playoff hopes alive, and then the Chargers went into Cincinnati and beat the Bengals in the wild card round.
And Chuck Pagano's brother, John Pagano, defensive coordinator for the Chargers, has always been very effective in his calls against Peyton Manning. Manning has struggled against that Charger defense, especially last year.
Vinatieri will kick it off for the Colts. Where are you on Andrew Luck's beard right now? Are you a fan or no?
No, of course I'm a fan. He's got a beard. You know, that's
that's it. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Just have to have facial hair. That's enough for you.
I might buy him a trimmer though.
Could be a holiday gift for you. Tate goes down at the 15-yard line, brought down by Colt Anderson on special teams. Well, the eye-opener for Luck and the Colts. First start on defense, Cincinnati held to 27 yards in that first half. Colts getting it from both running backs, the 1-2 punch, Richardson and Bradshaw. Hilton goes over 100 yards for the 3rd time this season.
Is that the Eagle eye opener?
Well, we could sponsor it if you want. Injured player is Jason DeMonch. Yet another linebacker.
Unbelievable.
Checking on the left leg of DeMonch. Already lost Burfict today. They were down Maaluga and Lemur. They signed Nico Johnson earlier in the week. And they're running out of players at that spot. Andy Dalton and Andrew Luck. Those are obstructed view seats for the fans.
Those that are left here really jump on the traffic with a 27-0 lead.
Luck 344 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's dealt the ball to 8 different receivers. Andrew Luck, 7 catches for T.Y. Hilton for 170 yards, 707 yards. Cleaner 4 for 64. Another tight end, Dwayne Allen, has caught 3 balls for 52 yards and a touchdown. How about the effort from Ahmad Bradshaw on this little swing pass? 3 catches for 36. All told, 26 of 41 for 345, 2 TDs and 0 picks.
DeMonch limps off the field. Cincinnati's offense has a minute 48 to work with. We're underneath. Gresham's got a first down. Bengals are trying to avoid a shutout. Last time they were shut out, January 3rd, 2010, against the Jets. It was a game that didn't mean anything for the Bengals. It did mean everything to the Jets trying to get to the playoffs. And then they played again in the postseason. And the Jets beat the Bengals, backed it up with another lead. Dalton throws back to Gresham. Getting to the sidelines, Jermaine Gresham with a minute 22 to play here in the fourth. That's a 9-yard gain. Indianapolis, last shutout for the Colts, December of 2008. They blanked the Titans 23-0. Well, for Cincinnati, they will take on the Baltimore Ravens at home next. Incomplete, trying to hit James Wright.
You know, and after starting the season 3-0 and then losing to New England, getting blown out there, and then the terrible disappointment of thinking they had the game won last week against Carolina. Nugent missing the short field goal, and now getting totally blown out here. The Bengals have got to be wondering what the heck's going on. But the injuries on defense and then got their top playmaker, Green, on offense, just too much against a hot, cold team today.
Dalton, deep ball. Incomplete, trying to hit Sanu. Sanu looking for a flag. Defended by Vontae Davis. And a penalty marker thrown in the backfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 91, contact below the quarterback's knee, 15 yards automatic, first down.
It's Jonathan Newsom, the rookie, who has stepped in for Eric Walden, who was tossed from the game earlier.
It looked like Newsom was tripped as he was rushing the passer and just had, gravity took him to Dalton's knees.
1:14 left to play. 27-0 Indianapolis. Line up the ball in midfield. Sanu has the helmet off. Dalton working out of the gun. Throws it to Bernard. Hit by Jarrell Freeman. Loss of 1 on the play. We are under a minute to play now. And a dopey fan has just made its way onto the field.
And a dopey fan will be going to the Gray Bar Saloon.
Subway postgame show is coming up. Our gang in New York will have all the scores and highlights coming up on the Subway postgame show. Dalton throws, it's complete to Greg Little, former second-round draft pick of the Browns in 2011. That's a 13-yard catch and run for Little. We're down to 38 seconds left. So for Andrew Luck and the Colts, the winning streak now at 5. Up next at Pittsburgh for Indy. Dalton out of the pocket and chucks it out of bounds. Pressure from Jarrell Freeman. 22 seconds remain. Dalton now 126 yards, 18 of 38.
And this is a statement type of game for the rest of the league to stand up and take notice about the Colts now winning 5 in a row. Defensively shutting out a team, which is tough to do in the NFL, but offensively over 500 yards with all the different weapons that Luck has to deal with. The Colts are for real. They're going to be here all year long.
And they lived up to all of their rankings. Number 1 offense in the NFL, up 506 yards. Number 1 in time of possession, 39-43 for Indy. And another sack for the Colts D. Zach Kerr, rookie from Delaware. That is 4 sacks on the day for the Indianapolis defense.
And number 1 in third down defense, too. Today, defensively, the Bengals have only converted 1 of 13 third down tries. Great defense by the Colts.